can't tell you how meaningful it is to be here today, standing for a young man who is going to make his mark on the national scene. This congressional district has been represented for so long by an individual who, although he may be a nice guy, and let's face it, almost everybody in politics is a nice guy, simply is wrong on every single issue that affects those of us who live here on Long Island and that affect those of us who live in the United States. A misguided president has had no greater enabler than the person who occupies our congressional seat right now. Woo! That is soon about to change. So to be here today is truly, truly a tremendous, tremendous pleasure.
When Graham came to talk to me about this race, it was just something I couldn't believe he would consider. And as someone who works in the county legislature, I know that my one seat keeps the majority here in Nassau County. And with this presidential year, that could be true with Graham Long. This is an important race. This could be the seat that changes and helps the President of the United States. Our President, Barack Obama, is talking about change. And we can have a representative from our neighborhood sent to Washington. So without further ado, it is my great honor to introduce someone who is taking this race on and taking this race seriously. Graham Long.
I like this. This is a little Teddy Roosevelt-esque today. First of all, in case you don't know me, my name's Graham Long and I'm running for Congress. Let me get right to the point. I can't tell you how excited I am about this election. This year, the entire country is demanding change. And this year, we have the opportunity to be a part of that change. For really the first time in my lifetime, we actually get to re-examine the big picture. We get to take a step back, and we get to say, where is our country going? And now is the time to start planning for the future, for where we want to be in a year, 5 years, 20 years from now. Because we know what all our problems are, and we know what we need to do about it. Number one, we know the war in Iraq needs to come to a responsible end. And in a way that considers what the future of the Middle East is going to be and puts our armed forces back to work eliminating terrorist threats. Second, we know our economy needs to start running on renewable energy. And that'll make us entirely independent of oil and of foreign regimes. And thirdly, we need a strong infrastructure to go with it. Our infrastructure right now is crumbling. And with a reinvestment in our infrastructure, we can lead the world in the new green economy that's high-tech and based on American innovation. So these changes are going to be the future of American progress, and I'm dedicating my life to making sure that that progress continues. Now, of course, because we got to talk about it, we can keep the status quo. We can keep rolling our eyes every time Washington responds to a big problem with a little tweaking in the margins, and we can keep on listening to politicians tell us about all the experience they have fixing things that they haven't fixed. So I'm asking, what exactly has been our experience with our current politicians in Washington? This is really still a good old boy, special interest driven, cash inundated system that's getting us nowhere fast. And that's why we need to change the system. And we need to put ourselves back in control of our government. So here on Long Island, at the same time, we also have our own host of issues. And that's what really hits close to home. Number one, our tax burden is just ridiculously high. Partly as a result of that, we have our younger generation leaving because they can't afford to stay here. And on top of that, even if they did stay, we have the added problem that there are so few places for them to work because Long Island's economy isn't what it used to be. So, you know, I was thinking about this over the weekend, and I was thinking that Long Island really has never been a bedroom community. we have always been like a force to be reckoned with. We've always been on the frontier of the future. We're the island of Theodore Roosevelt. We're the nation's first suburb. We're the place that built our unparalleled national defense, and we even helped get a man on the moon. And now, what can we expect is going to be the next thing that happens if we can't even keep our next generation here at home? So, that being said, this is amazing that we finally reached the moment this year where we can start turning all of that around. And there's a lot of good people out there who want to help, and they want some real change, and this year, we're joining them. So with that, I want to say thank you to Diane Utero for being here. Thank you to Assemblyman Levine, Mayor McCaffrey, my family, I'll run them down. Laura Mancini, Emily, Gloria Martin, May Newberger, who's my new family member. Eileen Long, my aunt, Kathleen, my aunt, and of course my mom and dad. Thank you.